Hey guys, all right, I'm going to show you really quickly how to draw the elephant and giraffe and tree part of our background or of our safari lesson. So what we did previously in class was we made a background using a gradient from red to yellow. So you should already have this part done. I'm just going to show you on a piece of white paper today so you can really see the shapes that I'm drawing to make it a little easier for you on how to do the elephant and giraffe. So I'm going to start off with a pencil and I'm going to go right on my canvas. And first thing I'm going to do is draw the ground. Now it doesn't need to be smooth. It could be bumpy and crazy because it is ground, right? All right, next, over here floating above the ground, I'm going to draw a little meatball shape. And this is going to be my elephant's body. So just kind of like an egg shape, really round because it's an elephant. Next up, I'm going to draw the head of my elephant. I was telling the class yesterday that this looks like a snowman falling over. It's just a little head. All right, from here, I'm going to add a trunk coming down. And I'm just kind of drawing like the lines of things, nothing too crazy because I'm going to end up going over these with paint. So we're just drawing the lines as like a little template to go over for what I'm going to do with my paint. Next, I'm going to add some legs. So I'm going to go coming straight from the back, almost like a tail coming down for one leg. And another leg over here. And I could add two more legs. Like I said, looks like a crazy spider or something for now, but it will look like an elephant. Finally, I can add a little tail. Nothing too crazy coming off the back of my elephant. This is the entire elephant. This is all I'm going to draw, and I assure you it will look like an elephant when I go over it with paint. Next, I'm going to move on to the giraffe. So for my giraffe, I'm going to draw an oval shape, but this time it's going to be kind of like a diagonal. I was calling it a flying saucer with class yesterday. So I'm going to draw a long oval shape that kind of leans. Next, I'm going to add from the back and from the chest a big, tall triangle shape. So this is going to be his neck. Kind of the key to making this look like a giraffe is keeping the triangular shape. If we make it look like a pool noodle, it gets a little crazy. It ends up looking more like a dinosaur. At the top for his head, I'm going to add a little slice of pizza shape over here. Sorry about that. The school bell is going off. So I got a pizza shape. I could add little ears and horns on there for my giraffe. Now, for the giraffe's legs, instead of just drawing lines like the elephant, I'm actually going to draw a triangle for the back legs and a rounded triangle for the front legs because he's a little bit more muscular than the elephant is. After that, I'm going to just draw lines coming straight down for the front and the back legs, and then once again, I could add a little tail. All right, now I'm going to go right in with my paint. Notice I didn't actually include the tree here yet. I'm going to add that at the very end because the tree is easier to do just right ahead with the paintbrush. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting. All I'm doing is filling in the ground lines that I had already made with my pencil. Awesome. Getting it all over the table, whatever, that's fine. We can wash it off later. There we go. So I have the ground. Now with the elephant, I'm going to start off with the body, paint that in, and we're just kind of filling in the shapes that we already made. There's my body, and there is the head of my elephant. Now I'm going to use, when I turn my paintbrush sideways, it gets a lot narrower. So I'm going to use that for the trunk to make a skinnier trunk. Going to make his tail. I'm using my paintbrush lightly for the tail. And then I'm going to make his legs coming down. There you go. Alrighty, there is, make his tail a little bit thicker. Things look a little crazy. You could always make the back work a little better. Right now it looks like his leg needs to be painted over a couple of times. All right, one of my tricks I have too is for the elephant's ear. So his ear is obviously being covered up right now, but to make it look like there's a little bit of an ear there, I kind of just make a little bump right here on the back of his head, make it a little bigger, and it ends up giving the effect of an ear being there. All right, moving on to my giraffe. I'm gonna just do the same thing, just filling in the shapes that I already created. Mm-hmm. Getting a little crazy on the paper over here because I'm drawing on my schedule. Awesome. Once again, I want to make sure I'm using that narrow side of the paintbrush from the head to create that triangle shape. We don't want it to get too crazy. There we go. And his little tail. For my horns, I think it's easier just to kind of stamp the ears in the horns with my paintbrush. And there's my giraffe. All right, for the tree, we're going to actually draw an acacia tree. And the thing about an acacia tree is instead of being tall, they're actually kind of wide. So the leaves shelter the roots from the sun. So the key to it is kind of making it a little bit wider. And for a tree, the base of the tree is always thicker than the top of the tree. So we get a little thinner as we move up. So I'm just going to draw the shape of my tree. And I just start by drawing a little baby tree trunk. And then I kind of hold my paintbrush loosely and I have it pointing right straight up and down. And I just drag my branches out. Now you don't want to give it too many branches because it gets crazy right away. All right. Once I have some branches, and this is my key. So I love using an old paintbrush for branches and fur because it gives a little bit of a more textured effect. I'm going to get some paint on there and I'm going to hover right above the tree and I'm just going to kind of dab on the paper. It looks crazy, but I promise you, as I keep going, it's going to give the effect of leaves. So I'm going to start by making them really sparse. Like I said, acacia trees are wide. So I want them to come kind of far out and kind of high up above where my branches stopped. And then slowly, as I keep adding more leaves, it looks more and more like a tree. So I'm never going in for more paint, really. I'm just kind of spreading out the paint that I already have. Awesome. And careful not to give yourself too many leaves. Like I said, it gets crazy pretty quickly. All right, finally, the last thing that you could do is if you would like to add some birdies. I actually like to use the back of my paintbrush, dip it in some paint, and do kind of a little V shape. Put a dot down, and you got some birds going in your background. All right, guys, I hope this helped you. Like I said, you're going to do this right on the canvas for your own painting, but I thought it would be a little clearer if I show you on this paper. Hope this helps you. All right, guys, good luck.